I am reading and watching the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy so that I can eventually watch XO Kitty, because in this house, we do things in order. And after finishing the book, last night I watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I have some thoughts to share. Generally speaking, I liked the movie quite a bit, but let's dive in a little bit. Right up front, I loved Lara Jean. I thought she was perfect. I thought she was probably the most similar to her character in the book. The actress who plays her, Lana Condor, has a lot of really funny facial expressions, and I really enjoyed watching her react to just everything that was happening around her. I can't even tell you the amount of times I laughed unexpectedly because of just like a face she makes. Margot is way better in the movie, but that's because they take away all of her opportunities to be the worst. Because in the movie, Margot shows up and sets up Christmas, and it's like a big surprise. Oh, we're so happy you're home. But in the book, Lara Jean and Kitty essentially set up Christmas before Margot gets home, and then when Margot gets home, she's just so upset that they did things without her. Because of course, to her, it means that they don't need her as much as she thought they needed her. So yeah, if you rewrite the script to make everything go Margot's way, of course Margot is gonna be nicer. Kitty is perfect. She continues to be my favorite character. Whether it's in the book or in the movie, she's wonderful. She is, I think, 2 years older in the movie than she was in the book, but I think that ended up working quite well. Also, I will say her reasoning for sending out the letters in the movie is like much nicer. Like she's just trying to get Lara Jean out there and living her life. Whereas in the book, it is like a diabolical revenge scheme. Of course, quick mention to Chris, who I thought was portrayed really well. I liked that in the movie she was like cool and quirky, because if I'm being honest, I got a little annoyed with them constantly shaming her promiscuity in the book. And Genevieve was also really well cast. I mean, she's awful, and this actress does a great job of portraying that. But you don't care about any of this because you want to know what I thought of all the boys. We're gonna start with Lucas. I love him, obviously. I would take a Lucas spinoff. What's going on with his life? What's he up to? I saw him making eyes at another boy at that party. I want to know what's going on there. No character gets quite as shafted by the movie as Josh. First of all, Josh and Lara Jean's friendship is almost completely absent from the movie. Most of the time, Josh isn't even talking. He's like in the background scowling. And unfortunately, I think it makes the setup of the fake dating situation and the reasons that Lara Jean goes along with it not make as much sense. To that end, I also want to mention that there is a scene early in the book where Lara Jean gets into a car accident. And that accident is the thing that starts the ball rolling for every one of her problems. First of all, it's Margot's car, so it's the reason that she and Margot start to have some tension. It is while she is waiting to be picked up from the accident that she runs into Peter for the first time, and they have like an interaction. And Josh is the one who picks her up, and that's the start of their like post-Margot relationship. So I think removing that car crash scene is probably the biggest glaring mistake that this movie makes, because it truly is the spark that starts this story moving. All of that aside, I know you want to know what I thought about Peter. I cannot stress enough how much better Peter is in the movie. Oh my god. In the book, he is such a jerk. He is so rude. In the book, he and Lara Jean are in what I would consider to be a borderline emotionally abusive relationship. But in the movie, he's delightful. Sure, he's flawed. He's having a really hard time getting over his awful ex. But he's charming. He's genuine. He's heartfelt. He's just really lovely, and he feels like a leading man. In the movie, I wanted them to get together. In the book, I wanted Lara Jean to run. Run as far and fast as you can. And finally, 3 miscellaneous observations. Kitty did not get her dog in the movie. What the hell? How is letting a boy rest his hand in your back pocket less intrusive than just like holding hands? Oh, I don't want to make out or hold hands with you because I'm kind of new to this. Instead, why don't you just grab my ass? I don't understand. And finally, there's a scene where Lara Jean is reading the letters from the hat box that Peter sent her throughout the semester. Why does Josh need to be there for that? It's such a lovely moment, and unfortunately, I was so distracted by the fact that Josh was just sitting there staring at her while she read all of them. The boy needs to learn when to politely excuse himself. And that, of course, brings us to the ultimate question: what did I like more, the movie or the book? I actually enjoyed both of them quite a lot. If I'm being completely honest with myself, I think I liked the book more. And it's not even for a good reason. It's because it's messier. I love that it's so messy. The movie's got plenty of drama, but it doesn't even come close to comparing to the train wreck that these characters get themselves into in this book. And unfortunately, I like the mess, okay? It's just who I am. Anyway, those are all my thoughts on the movie. Next up, I'm gonna be jumping into reading P.S. I Still Love You. That being said, this will take me a few days to read. I know you want updates, but just give me a minute, okay? I cannot wait to see the chaos that ensues in this book.